We're a week out. We're a week out from 1.0 drop. So, what the heck are we going to do with this? Well, I can tell you one thing. I'm not finishing it in 2 days. That's just flat out not happening. Probably also not going to be around Saturday either. Ooh. Hello. Oof. Once again, you put me in a jar. Thank you for the redeem. You come here strictly to do this to me, don't you? Yes, you do this strictly just to do this to me. So, yes. Hey, Rainbow Snow, how's it going? I mean, yeah, that's why I have it. So, Satisfactory goes 1.0 in 1 week. I'm not going to be around Saturday, which means we have today and tomorrow to finish this save, and there's no way I'm finishing. So, what I'm going to try to do instead is finish the factory that we've started on. It's going. Well, I guess that's a start. Going to try to finish the factory that we've started, which is the frames factory. However, the nuclear power plant, nuclear pasta, blue crater, Coalinga, well, Coalinga is the one we're doing now. The second, Red Dune Sea factory, the Titan Forest factory. I don't think I'm going to get to any of those. Ooh. Didn't say it was going okay. There's more to that than you think. I believe that. I very much believe that. I guess it comes down to how much you feel comfortable sharing at that point. Couple of the things to talk about. It's like, have I decided where I'm going to be starting in 1.0? No, haven't decided yet. I have decided, however, don't even know if I'm allowed to speak about it on Twitch. I see. Don't break the TOS. That's one thing that is against the rules. So, this series, the heavily modded in Update 8, is going to end when 1.0 drops. Obviously, because, well, it does tell me enough. I'm rather hoping that this is a chill enough environment to at least take your mind off it for a bit. So I don't really know the details. The Satisfactory Update 8 playthrough is probably going to end after this and 18 and start a new season, which is the 1.0 season. We'll call it Season 2, I guess. Probably going to start again, but honestly, a lot of things are going to be different. Enough things are going to be different. And once 1.0 drops, it should be around long enough that we should be able to get through a full playthrough, I figure. Also, don't think we're going to get the Icarus factory done, now that I think about it. Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot that we're not going to get to. Regardless, let's see what we can do by getting this finished. So, this is the sort of plan for this factory. So far, we've done that. Iron ingots is currently been being smelted. Oof, oof, oof. My English was bad there. Split that up into constructors and into foundries to make steel. Let's see. 40 foundries, so 15. And oh, hi, Cat. How's it going? Ooh. Why, thank you. Thank you, Cat. I really appreciate that. Let's do one of these for you, Cat. Much appreciated. What does this button do? Ooh. 13. Round that up. Okay. So we've got some parts. Start off with working on our pick list. Now I'm open to suggestions on the starting location. Well, are you feeling cute, Rainbow Snow? I haven't actually made up my mind about where we're going to do the start for season 2 for our 1.0 playthrough. It's probably, I'm definitely going to start at the beginning. I couldn't tell you what I'm feeling right now. Fair enough. That's valid, honestly. That's valid. Put you on my head. Go ahead and, help me with counting. There's going to be a fair amount of that. I've gone through the list of all the node changes with 1.0, and I can tell you a couple of things. First off, anybody that sits there and tells you that North Forest is no longer a viable start location is wrong. It's still very viable. In fact, Coffee Stain doesn't have any motivation or reason right now to make a start location no longer viable. Efficient, maybe. I can tell you one thing, girl pretty. I agree. I completely agree with that sentiment. Girl pretty. That having been said, you know, all of the start locations are viable, but depending on the way you play, one starting location may be more efficient for you than another. But none of them are totally unviable. I've looked at the map, I've looked at the changes. Some are going to be better in some ways, some are going to be better in other ways. So if chat's got any preferences on starting location for 1.0, well, I'm all ears. Look at these ears. I'm all ears. Make a case for why we should start in one particular starting area as opposed to another one. I'm all ears. Do it. There's a redeem for that. Do it, coward. You won't. Yes. Thank you for that. Now, I haven't exactly made up my mind myself. I haven't said for sure I'm starting in one place or another. That may come to how I'm feeling Tuesday of next week. Another thing is this series was largely meant to be about, hey, mods are good and cool. Do you want head pats? Because it's like, I don't know that I can let this model actually let me raise my hand above my head and pet my head. So maybe one of the others will actually help with that when they do head pats. Yes, I'm trying to encourage you to like use different things and not just spam the same one over and over again. Not that spamming the same one over and over is bad, it's just there's a lot of other options. Animation cooldown. Which one did you not get? Because I saw there was the cat meow that cat redeemed, and then there was the head pat that you redeemed, and I saw both. Yeah, that happened. That actually did happen. I saw it. It's on the VOD. It played. Head back to the Crystal Tower mines? What? What are you referencing, Cat? Oh, so you're playing 14 right now. Got it. Because that's always what you get on Alliance Raid Roulette. Of course. Why would it be anything else? Alright, I'm gonna try and balance this. hopefully, because there's going to be way more... Ooh. Ooh, fish. Fish. Yes. Do you like fish? Check my countdown. Nom. Nom nom. This particular series was all about showcasing mods. It was like, hey, mods are good, mods are cool, I like mods. That was always sort of my goal here. And unfortunately, when 1.0 drops on Tuesday, a lot of the mods are going to be broken and unusable, because that's just sort of the way this works. As soon as the new thing comes out, everybody's going to need a little bit of time to get their code updated and pushed out before the mods will start to work again. So whether we start right away with mods or not, there's probably going to be little to no mods, and it's going to be very vanilla right at the beginning. And as the mods get updated and brought online, we'll probably start adding them back in. Although I suspect that there's going to be a little bit of turnover. Because what often happens is... I'm going to switch the constructors because I can spread both ways. Kinky Satisfactory. Oh, okay. Let's check my alignment there. Oh, my alignment there is bollocks. That's better. I'm still going to try and do a good job with this, even if it's like this is a factory that is going to be dead in a week, but whatever kind of, you know, whatever. Do the best I can with it. You know, why not? So I keep going to the left and to the right. You can see Iron Valley Electronics Factory there in the distance. I suspect I'm going to be making so many iron plates that I'm going to double back this particular line at some point. As is something I tend to do a lot. One of my goals with this particular heavy modular frame factory is it's going to make more heavy modular frames than I've ever done before. Last time I built this factory, it made 20 a minute. This time I'm going for 22. So it's going to be bigger than I've ever done it. So there's a fair amount of I am challenging myself to do bigger and better here. I'll probably carry over a lot of my blueprints, but considering they have said they're going to be changing how blueprinting works, but we don't know the details, I don't know, we might remake some of the blueprints. We'll have to see. It's an exciting time. Don't know exactly what's coming. We have some hints, but we don't really know. There we go. My wrist is still in a... I sort of damaged my wrist not too long ago, so... Every once in a while, when I'm punching things with the left hand, I hit the wrong thing. Speaking of which, if anyone was around Saturday, I kind of stopped suddenly, and that was because I was having a medical emergency. That is why this is episode 17, take 2. Cat can tell you all about it. And now we wait for the save. The slow saving is definitely not something I'm going to miss. At this point, it's really just, how much can I get done this week? Because whether I like it or not, we're starting over next week. I am probably going to do my own, like, vanilla no mods playthrough, but I don't think I'm going to do that for stream because that was never the point. I'll probably do that on my own time, on my own separate save. Not going to really have much of a choice either, considering a lot of mods aren't even going to be working when 1.0 drops. Playing vanilla is the only way to play right away. 3 more. One. How many more foundations out do you think I'm going to need to go here, Rainbow Snow? Thinking about 4 more? Probably 4 more? Although I'm not looking forward to going modless again. Because there's some mods that I do have trouble living without. Like the Infinite Zoop mod and modular load balancers. It's hard for me to insist about those. Yeah, 4 was a good call. I think that's as far as we're gonna go. So let's see now. That's the foundries for making steel. and the iron plates. Right now, I'm just putting down the buildings to sort of scope out where everything's going to go. So, you know, everything's not actually up and running yet. Now, in terms of steel, we have constructors doing pipes and beams. 55 and 11. So, $66 divided by 4, that's 16 and a half. Let's do 17. Going back, let's look at this again. We're going to need about 37 and 31 for the rest. $68 divided by 4, it's another 17. So that's literally just 17 times 2 at this point. So 34 more blueprints full of constructors. Yeah, I'm going to need a lot more cable. Do another run for parts. We got a new pick list. Once everything's laid out, I mean, by this point, you know how I do this. I lay out the buildings, make sure everything fits, then I start hooking things up and making it run. The original reason we decided, or at least chat decided, to do the heavy modular frames factory was to support making nuclear pasta, which is going to take a lot of frames. The downside to that was, like, were we going to actually be able to finish both before 1.0 drops? And I'm pretty sure at this point the answer is going to be no, but we'll make a good crack at it, see how far we get. And then the save. What do you think about start locations? Anybody have any thoughts? Any preferences? Mm-hmm. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of doing my sort of modless playthrough story mode run that I do offline at a different start location and have this one, the heavy modded one, start back in North Forest again. Just to compare the two experiences, you know? But again, if chat has thoughts, I am all ears. Yes, I'm going to keep making this joke. It's hilarious. So soon. Please don't. They are great ears. Part of me half has been debating doing Grassy Fields as a start place, because a bunch of my friends who've played Satisfactory started there, and I sort of feel like might enjoy, like, okay, but what would you do with this starting location? I don't know that anyone would prosecute against that, though. Your Honor, my friend is adorable and far too far away for me to hug, and I would like to sue the concept of space-time continuum. I mean, spatial distance? Well, no, space and time. Because really they're the same thing on a scientific level. Okay. So that's plates. Okay. Let's just make a big old line right up the middle of this factory. Sort of like this. The lawsuit against the concept of space and time. Where is my fully automated gay space communism with Star Trek levels teleportation? I mean, all you need is the matter and the matter stream technology they use for transporters, and you're pretty much good to go. How many of it was it for just steel? 55 and 11. That's divided by 4, so 17. Help me keep track here, Rainbow Snow. 17. That's an annoying number. So the ethics and philosophy of those things are terrifying. Automation, gay space communism? Or Star Trek levels of teleportation? I think you mean the teleportation. Which, yes, that does bring up a bunch of, like, the matter transporter. Yeah. I mean, teleportation in general, too. What was it Captain John Archer said? I wouldn't use the transporter beam on my dog. Although I'm pretty sure no one watched Enterprise. Wonder, could I fit the remaining 4 back here? I'm gonna try it. And once again, I clip right through the beam. Okay, fine, but I would still need to get you to, like, to nail you down to a time that we do movie night. It would need to be, you know, a day you actually have off work, and then I would nail you down and we'd watch, I mean, all kinds of things. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you gargoyles, but, you know, then we can watch Star Trek if you want. I don't know how we do it, because I don't know that you have a Paramount Plus subscription. God. I hate the random breaking up of... This is the problem with television right now. Oh, hi, Malkvarian. How are you? Don't tempt me with a good time. What about magic tethers? Okay, now I'm interested in this conversation. Come on. Tired. I don't blame you, considering what you've been through recently. For chat's benefit, it sounds like Marion had a certain amount of flooding at home. So 40 constructors, concrete, which is going to wind up being 10 blueprints. Those go up on the second floor, though. Yeah, I actually was going to tell you, Malkvarian. Yep. We had a pool for a day. Yeah, in your house, which is not good. So one of the spots I was considering, like we were talking about a little earlier, as a start location for 1.0 is your favorite spot out there on the Gold Coast. It's like, you know, it's perfectly cromulent start area. has the advantage of being near Caterium and oil. And I want to leave a little room there. In this particular save, I actually made a mining platform right there to mine up the iron and the copper and the limestone. It became the Malkavarian mining platform. Nut bunnies. Let's try that again. But yeah, the point of the nail down comment is try and get like some time with Cat and Bose for watching TV shows together. And then I was going on about how difficult it is to, try and watch TV with people because of how much TV shows are being spread all over streaming services these days. Yeah, is that it? Yeah, that's it. Actually don't need all of this. Oh, well. Okay, that's the concrete. And then we have 31. No. 31 constructors, 8 blueprints. Right. Okay. And that's just for making screws, because this particular one. Yarhar fiddly dee. My only problem with that is it's just so many gigs of data that you'd have to save locally. The beauty of streaming is you don't need to save it locally. Breaks the entire point. You're in Crystal Tower. What sand where? I'm lost, Cat. Maybe it's been too long since I've been in Crystal Tower. Let's see, how many of them were beams? 11. 11! VR chat? Y4 VR chat? Six, 7. Ooh. Hi, Mimi. A hydrate. Ah, very good. 1 second. Done. So what's this about VR chat? 6, 40, 41. My count's off. You can go into Popcorn Palace and type the website. Ah, interesting. So they do a bunch of streaming stuff. Five, 46, 9, 50, 51. And this one's literally... I didn't want to do... I did that wrong. I didn't mean to do that. So this is just pipes here. Which means this one over here... and 11. Okay. I see. One problem with doing this is I've left myself very little room here. Probably move this back, actually. Just 3 for a minute. They don't line up perfectly, but give me more room. Doton placement on Ninja in the mob pools. Oh, you're talking about Doton. Gotcha. Two. You lost me with the sand reference there. Okay. So these ones I've set aside as screws. Whereas these are all pipes. Unfortunately, there's so many banks of constructors, it's like I need to start like color coding and arranging them. Otherwise, I'm gonna have no idea. It's like, which group was this constructors? What? Okay, purple here. This is concrete line. 4 with 37. 7, 13, 14, 16, 17. 637. Yeah. Which means I actually spare set here. I don't know why I'm getting my counting so wrong. But whatever. So this last bank is the actual steel screws themselves, which I need to fit in somewhere. Fair enough. Can't remember the name Doton, I'm guessing. Guess that's understandable. Plain. Problem is, this isn't teed up, so... What if I reverse these? I went the other way with it. That's gonna make no sense out of context. 1 second. Let me see if I can show you what I mean by that. So let's switch this around. Now the fun part is launch day for Satisfactory 1.0 is a stream day. So I am planning to stream that day. Just have to see how much can actually be done on launch day, because in my experience, never play on launch day, because it's always a heck of a mess. But hey, we'll give it a shot. See how it is. Alright, let's... See, I've got a little room going back that way. Towards the ledge there. I obviously don't want to foul any of the stuff on the ledge, but I kind of like the idea of consolidating space by taking these two lines and just going that way with them. To me, that just feels fun. So, like, that, maybe? Let's put a through in for alignment. Because essentially this is steel beams, and we're going to be using the steel screws recipe, so this one is the actual steel screws recipe. So yeah, it would go in like that. Got it. Not very good at going straight through. What's the problem with being gay? You just can't go straight. You don't know how. Ah! Go back to nudge mode. Thank you. Do 4 more. How much room do I have? It'll fit under there. Okay. Fuck it. Two left. Okay, so let's color these ones red. Painting the roses red. We're painting the roses red. There we go. This is the problem with scaling this factory up. It just gets bigger. More of everything. I've increased the complexity by scaling it up this much. And, oof. Okay, so. Done with constructors. Let's move on to assemblers. There's going to be 3 separate banks of those. Oh. Land Goshen. Okay. 28 assemblers. Let's just do 10 blueprints. Try using these. Oh yeah, parts. I need to stop and get parts. Going slowly crazy. How many is it? 28, 11, and 22. That's 61 total. 21 blueprints total, so... let's go get parts. Do you have any method for the color coding, or is it just something different from the one around it? Or what feels good at the moment? It's pretty much what feels good at the moment. In my case, when I start a new playthrough, I define a bunch of colors that I like and want to use, and then we'll try and make things visually distinctive enough so that my brain understands this section that is colored red is a different part than the section that is colored green. When I did the main mega factory at Spire Coast, the colors were very specifically meaningful. Like, red is you do not foul, and then everything was degrees of heat away from that, you know. Yellow, you're getting close. Orange, you're getting way too close. Red, stop. On the other hand, something like green is you're fine, you're clear, you're not in the way. So from that perspective, it's the green, yellow, red thing. But, you know, because I've got to be me, I've got to add levels of distinction in between and also make it gay, because this is me. I mean, have you met me? Of course you have, you're here. $200, $400, $600. Got it. So I guess the answer to your question, Star Tiger, is depends. I've done both styles. Really just depends on the situation. Managed to use up all those iron plates. Well done, I guess. Two, four, six. I wish this list would scroll up. There we go. 100, 200, 300. Assemblers take rotors. Mm-hmm. And cable. Also, did you see the video I posted in Vent Crew Best Shadowbringers? I did. I have not had a chance to watch it yet, but from what it looks like, a lot of people have done video essays about Shadowbringers, because Shadowbringers is, it's a very complex, emotional, high concept piece, you know? It's also my favorite of the series. Pretty much for that exact reason. An hour. Yeah, so it's a video essay. A typical video essay. Yep. Part of me also wants to do the start somewhere near Melk's starting area. So it puts me right near the area where I build the hydroelectric plant. So I wouldn't have to wander as far. It's also close to oil. My goal is going to be pretty much the same, though, as before. Get up to trains, stop, build train network, then continue to finish the game. Go and, you know, get to trains, full stop, trains everywhere, didn't finish the game. It's going to be pretty much the same game plan. The difference is in 1.0, they're changing when you get trains, which is going to change a whole lot of the algebra about when what happens where. Okay, so 27, 28 for encased industrial pipe. Eight. 8 divided by 3, that's 10. Already put one down, so let's make that 9. There is a lizard doggo directly ahead. Lizard doggo dead ahead. So you had to wait for the lizard doggo to walk away. Okay, what revelation? Let's hear it. Waiting for the bar on the top to construct. Even when you see it construct, it's not necessarily solid yet. Ah. Oh, yeah. And it's not just Emmett's Grief either. It's also WOL's. One of the arguments that I made when we first talked about it was how, like, the entire thing with the last zone is WOL doing a suicide attempt because they had absolutely no reason to suspect that was going to succeed. They were pretty sure they were going to their death. Just saying. You know, but they didn't. Because it was also a matter of, you know, facing your trauma head on, you know? Okay, so that's cased industrial pipe. And if there should be 28. 2. Eight. Okay. Leave a little extra. It's fine. That's the encased industrial pipe. Next is bolted iron plate. Arranged. 4 blueprints of it. I mean, that's how I wound up making so many characters in 14. It's just replaying that expansion over and over. You'd be in good company on that one. Oh, hello. Some copper ore. Hey, it's better than nuclear waste. Two. Ah. Auto alignment finally working. Thank you. Holding control does nothing. Okay. That's the bolted plates. Oh, muted just in time. Ah, this is what makes me sad. I struggle to understand art sometimes and have to have it spelled out for me. I wish I had the skills to do analysis on my own. Yeah, but there's also the fact that you realize there's an old saying that says wisdom is, half the battle of wisdom is knowing that you don't know. You're doing better than a lot of people that assume they know everything there is to know about media analysis and just making wild assumptions that have no basis. Also, I think media analysis is often very subjective. Like, you could take every class in college about media analysis and still have a completely different take on something than somebody else. A good example of this, I would say, let's use Star Trek, for example. There's an episode in Strange New Worlds that the lead guest character is a trans character. And that sounds cool at first, and a lot of trans folks are very positive on it. But my problem is, I read it as like this is basically playing into every negative stereotype about trans people, and so I gave it a big thumbs down as, you know, bad rep. A lot of people I know love Captain Angel, and I'm just like, I'm so exhausted. I'm so fucking exhausted. Okay, we were doing bolted iron plate. Next up was bolted frames. It's 22 divided by 3, so let's do 8 blueprints of that. Every artist gets that, cat. Every artist feels that. I get that. And the thing is, you do already tell great stories. Come on, can we get a little closer? Control, it does nothing. Oh, I'm literally one short. I guess time for another trip back for parts. You can already see what a complicated mess this factory is turning into. This is what happens when I scale things up. Remind me around 4 o'clock to take a break, would you, Cat? Reminds me. This is the bolted assemblers. The next thing is going to be 11 manufacturers. So I might as well pick up the parts while I'm here. Yeah, 11 manufacturers all making the same part. And 35. And the lovely old contradiction. In order to make heavy modular frames, you need to have heavy modular frames to make the manufacturers to make the heavy modular frames. This is a problem. It is as old as early access. Yeah, look. Empty bin. This is why we're building this factory. Imagine me bonking my head into the side of this bin. Ugh. I'm really glad they're fixing this for 1.0. I don't know who thought this was a good idea. Sorry, coffee stain. I needed to build a factory that makes heavy modular frames in order to have the heavy modular frames to build the factory. The Ouroboros of suck. I'm going to talk to chat for a bit. So, happy Tuesday, chat. Happy 1 week until Satisfactory 1.0. How are we doing? Since we're sitting here waiting for modular frames, let's do something here. Ah. I'm seeing drops in FPS. No dropped frames, but the FPS is down to about 10 frames a second. What's going on? I think OBS is crashing. Oh, there we go, 60 frames a second. Okay. It does not like it when I take a look at the webpage. So how do you think it will... So how do you think it will take to update... You self-censored there. Automod does not see it patched there. I'm going to assume what you meant by that. So how long do I think it will take to update mods once 1.0 drops? It varies. Some things with larger mod teams like Refined Power will have their stuff updated within 24 hours. Some projects that are maintained by one guy in rural Mississippi is probably going to take a few weeks. That assumes that the mod ever gets updated at all. There are some... a certain website that calculates satisfactors. There needs to be an object in the game called Satisfactor. And you need to make satisfactors in the Satisfactory. So what I'm sort of wondering, and I don't have a good answer for, is how long, like, Satisfactory Calculator website will take to update its map with the different node locations. I'm betting that's going to take some time, because yes, there are some absolutely crazy people who will have it up to date within a week, but like, that's the exploration side of the game, and some people are going to be like, no, don't update that. People have to go exploring. Oh, yeah, Automod will not let you post links. Just say the name of the website. So I can tell you for sure, some things are going to take forever to update, and some things will be updated right away. It's going to be hit or miss, though, as to which ones those are. Like, when Update 7 turned over to Update 8, there were some mods I was using in Update 7 that still haven't been updated. The frame rate drops seem to be mostly in the big factory. That's interesting. Because as soon as I get away from the mega factory, the frame rate is just instantly stabilizes. I think that OBS does not like that factory. Because now I'm seeing a nice clean level 60 FPS. It's going to be something of an adventure to see, you know, what mods get updated when, what sites get updated, and which ones don't. There's a reason why we have the whole phrase about abandonware. Mods or websites that people make that, you know, are updated for like update 5 and then never get another update. These are the things we call abandonware. The good news is, I believe the website you are referring to, if you're referring to the one I think you are, I do not believe is abandonware. I believe the only reason they haven't posted the update already is because they want people to actually go out and play 1.0 first. Like, they've already probably, like, this is the way I would do it if I ran it, is like, I'd already have a beta version that already is compiling the data from those that actually are in the beta. Which I'm not, by the way. Just saying. I don't know things that y'all don't. I'm running out of factory here. Whew. Okay, that's it for assemblers. Last push. Manufacturers. The last, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 foundations here. This is all going to be manufacturers. In fact, I wonder if I can save a little bit on floor space. Also, what mods will simply become obsolete? The auto bio generators in the modular power are going to be put with 1.0. So here's the thing about refined power. Refined power is it's more than one guy. They actually have a team. They have a Discord. They have a Patreon. They're a team where they have people that are specifically dedicated to doing QA. Ask me how I know. I filed bug reports. Back after update 7 turned over to update 8, there was a bug in refined power that was causing the game to crash to desktop. And it turned out, like, I was taking a bunch of like stack dumps and trace reports and posting them on the Discord. It's like, hey guys, here's this crash. And sure enough, they were able to figure out what it was, and they had a patch within 2 days. So it's like, refined power is one of the ones that I would consider one that I would have trouble playing this game without. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be one of the first to get updated, if they haven't already got a version ready to go. Because all they would need to do is have access to the beta server, which, I don't. Yes, I'm going to keep mentioning this until it stops annoying me. Manufacturers. Like, historically speaking, there are some mod developers who are extremely active and are probably going to be sitting there banging away at their code, even if they're just a one-man operation, like, say, for example, Digby, who's very much his own, like, one-man operation and has, like, I don't even know, 5, 6 different mods that he maintains. Same thing with, like, Andre Aquila, who's another mod developer. One-man team. He has dozens and dozens of mods that he maintains. And I can tell you for a fact there's at least one mod that Andre Aquila did that I used back in Update 7 that he's still never updated. And, he's busy updating a bunch of other mods. And so it's like the Abandonware one, it's not his priority, clearly. Or he ran into some problem that made it, permanently broken. Some of the mods that I'm using right now are different from the ones that I originally used in Update 7 because the old version became Abandonware and somebody else took it over. A good example of that is Infinite Zoop. Infinite Zoop is the first one I used. There was another mod. But, it became Abandonware. I've made a mistake. I have separate blueprints for manufacturers for 3 inputs as opposed to 4. This one needs to be a 4 input. And, oh boy, I do not have enough frames. But I can tell you right now, Star Tiger, some mods that are absolutely going to be abandonware. For example, Flower Power, the one that puts the recipe in game that makes flowers useful by turning them into biomass, will be abandoned. Because flowers are going to be removed from the game. However, with Refined Power, the biomass burner becoming just a base feature, like Refined Power's version is the automated one. And the base game, the vanilla game, is going to have that in 1.0. I suspect what's going to happen is Refined Power is just going to chop that line of code off, remove it, because that'll save them, you know, X amount of kilobytes of code, make the overall load of their mods lighter, and focus their energy on other things. A good example of that, fun fact, in the switchover from Update 7 to Update 8, the Refined Power team was working on something back in Update 7 to make use of gas pillars. But that particular line of code basically got abandoned because there was no point after the base game came along. It's just like, here, we're letting you blow up gas pillars with Nobilis. And so it's like, not much demand for that code anymore. So, you know, abandon that code, remove it, move on to other things, spend your money, your effort elsewhere. Personally, I would really like it, Refined Power, if you ever hear this, if you would do the hydroelectric dam idea you were working on. That was very cool. Please finish it. I like hydroelectric dams. I'm a fan. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, bork, 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 bork. Cat Girl says bork. Thank you for the redeem, Cat. Thank you for noticing there are other things in there. Oh. Sorry, I went in a rant there, didn't I? I apologize. I went on a rant. Okay. Boink. Here's something that... Yeah, bork. Exactly. Bork, bork, bork. Doggos say bork. See, if left up to my own devices, I will absolutely just sit there and fill, like, the entire redeems list with nothing but sound redeems, because I like sound redeems. I will absolutely fill it with just random sounds. Like, I was looking earlier today at maybe adding a sound redeem that's like the alert sound from Star Trek, because this amuses me. Because I'm a Trekkie.
Approved!
I'm glad you approve. Why can't we do this? Did you get me monologuing? Yes, you got me monologuing. You sly bastard. 10 points to whoever gets that reference. Okay. It's only going forwards and backwards. Why want to go left and right? Nudge mode, why? I like that they added nudge mode, but... This bug bothers me. And that's it. That's all I can build. I need more parts. Giant factory. Nothing running. Because I don't have enough parts. Yes! Correct! Well, actually, the Incredibles one had the more family-friendly wording than what I chose. Mine was slightly worse. Because I believe Syndrome referred to him as a sly dog in the movie. Talk about a movie... I saw that movie 6 times in theaters. That movie. It hasn't aged well. But I did enjoy it. There you go, Cat. You could put that under my problematic faves. It's very problematic now, but oof. I really loved it when it was new. Frames, frames, frames. I need more frames. I need a lot of these. I'm half tempted to just take the whole bucket. I know gonna need a bunch, but here we go. So, current plan. Put down these 2 manufacturers. Take a 10-minute break. When we come back, start hooking things up. You know, the most satisfying part of this project. You know, when things actually start doing things, as opposed to, I'm just putting things down and figuring out where it goes. Which... it's not exciting for me. I can't believe it's exciting for you. I think in 1.0, in this area here, I'm going to be building a big damn factory. One of the things about this whole area right here is like there's almost no resources here. It's a ghost town. And one of the things they're doing is adding a whole bunch of resources to this general area, which is going to make it so much more factory worthy out this way. Heck, I've been trying to think about what sort of things I'm going to be building in that factory. I know for a fact that quartz products like silica and refined quartz are absolutely going to be in there, but I might also do some other things because of all of the other resources that are being added to the area. I do like a good head pat. Don't tell Lavos you beat Lavos to the next use of head pat, though. It may turn down the cooldown on that one specifically, just because I like that one. I do like head pats. Okay, that's it. We finally have the whole thing laid out. That was a lot. See, we're now getting into that phase of the game in late game where, like, factories are becoming bigger and more complex, doing more things. There's so many different points along this particular chain of just stuff being refined. I mean, look at all of this. This is a lot, right? I did. I absolutely did, Star Tiger. But yeah, this is I'm not crazy, right? This is a lot. And the other thing is, this makes one part. All of this is to make one part. Heavy modular frames. Now, admittedly, I'm doing it 22 a minute. That's a pretty big undertaking. Oh. But yeah. Cat, you're out there. I'm going to take a 10, 15 minute break. Then we're going to come back and we're going to hook all of this up. Start making frames. Be right back. You know what occurs to me? You know, something that bugs me. It's like, I will absolutely engage people in certain kinds of discussions on my channel because, you know, why wouldn't I? But there's a different style. It's like a lot of people will sit there and put, you know, no politics in their channel rules. And that's interesting because everybody has a different definition of what that means. And sometimes it's like the streamer will then make a long rant that includes very politically charged things, but it's like, if the actual viewer interacts with that discussion, the mods will nuke it. It's like, double standard much? It's also kind of, you know, some streams where it's like, hey, this is an LGBT friendly stream, but if you like are trans, we kick you out. Just, that's something else I've run into. It's like, oh, the double standards. Twitch, sometimes, oof. Alright, anyway. I'm on a rant. I'm feeling very ranty today. Let's get this running. This is iron plates. See, I have a similar rule, but like, I am me and everything is political. Yeah, same. Everything's political. So it's like, I never actually saw the point in having a rule that says no politics when everything is fucking political. And I think the idea that some people have certain boundaries about politics is fine and valid, but when the streamer can talk about it, but it's like, if you try and interact with that discussion and get nuked, it's like, it's hypocritical. Yeah, it's a very complicated rule to hold. And I've just sort of reached the conclusion, it's like, okay, well, it's valid that you have that boundary, but you and I are not going to get along well. So I am not going to do well in this community, so I will, you know, unfollow. One thing I absolutely do not respect, though, is, you know, LGBT streamer. But, you know, if you mention that you're trans, kicked, banned, that is 100% not valid. Essentially, it means to me, if we get into a certain discussion that I can't have a moment, I hold the right to tell everyone to stop it. I mean, yeah, pretty much. I actually ran into this just yesterday. I was exploring around some like different streamers and ran into that, and it's like, oh, okay. Oh, I'm not gonna do well in this community. I will unfollow. Keep political discussions to a minimum. Due to me being me and my existence, politics will come up from time to time on the channel. However, I reserve the right to cut off any discussions to preserve mine and the chat's mental health. And this is a rule in... And this is the rule in question as it's written now. Fair. My general feeling is like a lot of times these topics are very subjective. And it really comes down to the individual conversation. And I generally feel like this is a case where you really need to trust your moderators. And if your moderators can't handle political issues and are just like, no, anything political, we can't deal with it, we're just going to shut it down, it's like, ooh. Yeah, this is not a community for me. You're welcome to have those sorts of boundaries. That is absolutely your prerogative. However, I also do not need to be a part of that community because that's hypocritical. So I also feel it's like even worse if it's an LGBT streamer. It's like no political discussions, but I can talk about, you know, what I want, but the chat can't. It's like, brother, Right now I'm just doing power. I want to get the power up first because, you know, the hover pack. Especially when you're working in a factory that's literally built on a ledge hanging off a cliff. Yeah. Being immune to falling off the edge is kind of a big deal. But yeah, Kat, if you ever want to, we can, you know, find a time that we can regularly sort of get together and do movie night. Of course, one of the things I was hoping to do was to open that up to, like, viewers, but that one's sort of waiting on the Discord to open up. Okay. Oh, forgot one thing. Concrete line. Need that. We have three main materials here. We have iron. We have limestone. And we have coal. So there are three primary ingredients here. And it really comes down to just having enough of all three of those. I really enjoyed the game we did yesterday, Kat. I really enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun. I may even go so far as to call it hella fun. Time for Digby. Tally ho! This is limestone, by the way. I miss our BG3 streams. All right, that's concrete started. Now to start up the steel. I thought you worked Friday. Yeah. You're up for it. I generally don't like to like assume your time, but it's like if you're up for it. Let's not do that right now. Save that for later. This is be a complicated one. What the? What the? What? What? No. Why? My word. I'm just gonna put it up in right now, right here. This is where I put all of the iron ingots. When the whole thing gets extremely confused. That's literally 1 meter off. Great. Ah. Okay. Well, since I seem to have a moment. Cool. Check something here. Yep. All right. I'm gonna put the iron down on the bottom here. Still in coal. Yeah, we're still in steel. Yeah. The part that takes the longest is building up the other side of everything. Output only module, so do this. Why? Yeah, as long as, like, doing the stream before work wouldn't make you feel too exhausted at work. I think that's the only reason why I would be like, nah. I leave that up to you, though. Your day, your spoons, your feelings. Ah! Hello, Tencel. Someone figured out how to use the emotes. Are you close to hitting affiliate yet, Kat? I'm sorry, I think the emotes are just so cute. Come on. There we go. I agree. No. Not deconstructing the smelter. Not deconstructing the foundry. There we go. Should get up most of our iron production up and running for this factory. Why? No. No. I'm making errors. Okay. That should be it for that line. All that iron. So my new router fixed my issues, Tiggy. Well, good. You'd be surprising the difference a new router makes. Where is the router that lasts forever? Was there something specifically wrong with it, or is it just generally showing its age? And or its ass? Routers are very sensitive pieces of equipment. They break down easily. I just need to replace a couple of Ethernet cables because 2 of them have a single broken end, so they're not 100%. Ah, like the little clip on the RJ45. Yeah, that's pretty common. It's pretty much the weakest structural point, but that's also by design. It was designed to have that weak point. Okay, so now that we've got the iron ingots moving, let's snag this and go for a flight. And by fight, I mean fall. Indeed, they are easy to replace, absolutely. Ding, 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 down. Whee! Green lights on those miners. Okay. So they should be full of coal now. They are. Okay. Recipe solid. There we go. This distributes the coal to all the foundries. Yeah. Putting all that iron back in the bin. Trying to get the excess stuff out of my inventory, you know? Yeah. Unfortunately, this is something that Star Tiger knows all too well. A bad router can often kill the whole network. Good lord. Did I do that backwards? Yes, I did. Bloop, bloop. No. Routers can be very finicky, sensitive pieces of equipment. And also, a lot of the companies that make them tend to be very, very cheap. Good routers tend to be very expensive. People tend to not pay a whole lot for them. Routers tend to fall into the category of, like, you get what you pay for. So when network issues happen, I'm always just like, how old's the router? If I was smart here, I wouldn't actually merge them until after I've finished connecting them up. That requires me to be smart. Why? There we go. And now I wait. Ah. What might happen here is I may read out, finish this tomorrow, because I'm starting to get wrist pain. I'm trying to see how far I can go before I completely have to stop, you know? Oops. Keep winding up with so many parts in my inventory. Almost done with this leg. Walk module. Two left. In terms of steel foundries. All right. That's the steel pipes. And we're going to grab this array of steel ingots and wander over here. Because these ones will be steel beams. Which they'll then immediately feed into these. Oh, that's right. When you are feeding constructors into constructors, absolutely every single one is going to be a straight through. Them's just how it works. go. Waiting for the save. Yeah, I think what's going to happen here is when my wrist starts to hurt too much, I'm going to raid out. Do a self-care. And we will finish this mañana. Tomorrow. No. What? No, why? If I'm looking directly down at it and I just double click, it will just build a belt directly across, which is what I want. But if I'm off to an angle, even slightly, it won't. It just gets confused. Alright, and these boys are going to be steel screws. No, I don't want to split. I want to merge. Thank you. Here we go. Sea of green lights. Everything's running. Why have the foundries stopped? From the looks of things, because they are full. These have stopped because they have nowhere to output to. Guess that makes sense. Oh, boy. Yeah, okay. My wrist hurts. I'm gonna raid out. And we will pick this up tomorrow when I've had a chance to rest my hurt wrist. Who all is on? Who all is on? Jennifer's on. Kumi's on. Oka's on. Wow. I'm spoiled for choice here tonight. The smaller of the two is Kumi and Oka, and I don't know how long it's going to be until Kumi stops, but I know Oka's going to be on for a while. Because Oka's doing Great Ace Attorney and doesn't raid out for a couple of hours. Doesn't raid out until about 7, 8 o'clock. So I think I'm going to go with Lady Oka because I know she's going to be around for a while. And she will take good care of y'all. And when you get a chance, I don't know if you're still out there, Malkavarian, let me know what your plans for 1.0 are. If, I mean, really, anybody who plays Satisfactory here, let me know what your plans are for 1.0. And we will be back tomorrow. We will finish the heavy modular frames factory. And probably be happy with that progress going into 1.0. Take care of yourselves, self-care when you need to, and see you tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out.